Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Are you ready? Hi everybody, it's Jeff. So, nice day out here today in Maine. Of course, rain is on the way. I think we're supposed to get out Saturday, I think. In Maine, we're going to get rain. We're going to pay for these three or four nice days we've got here in a row. But beautiful outside, and lots of people are out enjoying the day. I even drove out into like Old Town this morning, and I noticed that in Old Town they've done a lot of development for people who want to hang around outdoors, picnic tables and areas that are just gated off for people to just sit. I mean, there's even some there's a lobster restaurant in Old Town that's sits right on the riverbank that has outside seating. And I think, you know, a lot of the restaurants now, that's what they're going to be doing, is they're going to start opening up the outdoors. I know Chili's is supposed to do some construction on the side of their building so they can have people sit outside and eat. And I'm thinking, well, now you do this, and now we're going to get like tons of rain. And you're not going to get much use out of your outdoors stuff. I mean, because, you know, when the seasons change and it gets windy out, then everybody's going to get blown away outside. I mean, it's a nice idea, but right now with climate change kicking Maine's butt, you know, every few months and stuff, I mean, it's really, you know, you might want to think twice about that and just expand, maybe make like an extension where there's like a sunroof or something where people can get the sun on them, but it's still enclosed, so that way you can use it year round. You know, that would probably make more sense for restaurants to do it like that, instead of just simply throwing out tables and chairs outdoors for people to sit on and eat. Okay, so because you know, that stuff you're going to have to constantly bring in and bring out. You know, as you know, we get into winter and summer, so you know, it's just a weird thing that they're doing. But it looks like, you know, a lot of people are happy that they're doing that stuff's out there. It's just, you know, I just don't see the practicality behind it. And so this criminal trial thing going on here with numbnuts here, Trump. Boy, I mean, the jury selection is almost a story in itself here. I mean, let's be honest. Okay, this is happening in New York State here. What? This is happening in that state, and it's mostly Democrat, okay? There's a very small part of New York that's, you know, that's Republican or whatever, okay? Where do you think you're going to find a jury that's going to be fair? You know? I mean, think about it. He owes the state a shitload of money in taxes. Okay? And you know, people, as far as I know, his opinion out there is lower than snake piss, because, you know, of all the things that he's done that they know about, okay? I mean, people see this guy and, you know, they know what he's like. They've known him for years like that. You know, so he doesn't have a good reputation out there. You're not going to get it from there. And yet, today, they had to dismiss a juror because they said the juror lied and said that left something out, and Trump accused him on his social media webpage that the person he dismissed hated me. He was a liberal and he hated me, and they found out and they got, I'm thinking, well, so what? If you are Democrat, yeah, they're going to hate you, okay? But we don't select jurors based on their political affiliations, okay? This is, we judge them by their background. Have you been convicted of a crime, okay? Do you owe money? You know what I'm saying? Questions like that. And, if he doesn't like the jury pool out there, well, tough. But here's my thing. Trump is good at wiggling his way out of shit, okay? He really is. I still would think that he'd find somebody on that jury to either intimidate or buy off, okay? I really do. I think he's quite capable of that. And so, it's not a slam dunk that this case is going to end in a conviction, okay? I really have no faith in the system as I see it, because the things that he's been able to get away with up to now have been ridiculous. An ordinary person like you, like me, and other people we know, okay, would never be able to get away with that stuff, even if we had the money, because we just ain't got the name, okay? We don't have a reputation. Trump is able to intimidate people, and people are afraid of him because of the fucking cult that he has. But I don't see that Trump is going to get the trial he needs out of this, okay? I don't see that he's going to get that. And frankly, I don't think this criminal trial is really strong enough in my mind to actually guarantee a conviction. He'll find some way out of it. And that's why I'm not going to build my hopes up that this is going to end in some kind of validation of everybody's hatred against this guy. I don't think it's going to happen. Not the way everybody wants it to. Okay? So I'm just, him sleeping in court like he's been doing, and playing on his phone, which he shouldn't be doing, by the way. In fact, they ought to put signal blockers in the court, so that way people can't use their cell phones. The court is the last place you need to be on your phone if you're in there. You don't want that ringing or anything like that. So the judge just ought to say, look, we need to put some kind of blocker in here, so he can't use that damn thing while he's in here. He's going to have to pay attention. Okay? Look, O.J. Simpson went through his trial. He didn't have no fucking cell phone, to fiddle around on. He didn't bring a pool table in there. He didn't fall asleep at the damn table there with his dream team. Okay? So are you saying Donald Trump ain't better than that? Come on. You guys have been trying to say, that you maggots out there have been trying to say that, Trump's a better candidate than Biden. Well, I don't see Biden falling asleep in a press interview or some damn thing like that. Okay, what the hell? What's Trump going to do? If situation comes up where we need him to do something in an emergency and he's asleep at the wheel. You know what I'm saying? The guy, if he wins president, he probably won't even live long enough to finish that term. That's how bad off he is. Forget about everything else. He's just not there. They're keeping him going with drugs. And I think that him showing up there and being sleepy all the time, Don Snorleone, okay, he's just not gonna friggin' care. If he cared, I don't think he'd fall asleep. But I don't think he cares, because I think he knows he's got this in the bag. I think he knows he's going to get away with this. He's got people behind the scenes checking out all these jurors, trying to find out addresses and phone numbers, and so how does the justice system protect itself against folks with means to do shit like that? How? Okay? And let me tell you something. If this trial goes on and on and on, just like what happened with the OJ case, those jurors are going to revolt. Okay, remember how long the jurors were? In that case, it was 8 months? 8 months in jury. Okay, those people were at each other's throats by the end of that time. Okay, there was fights breaking out with the jurors because they just can't call when they want. They can't watch TV when they want. They couldn't even, when they made an agreement where they could watch movies, they couldn't even agree with each other on what movie to watch. You had, what, 20 jurors there, and they all had to pick a movie? I mean, that ended up into a fight. I mean, it was impossible. You see, the jury system in this country sucks. It really does. It sucks for a lot of reasons. And it sucks because, we've been using that same system since when? Since we first created the justice system, right? Ain't it time to do a reevaluation of where we can streamline this thing and make it more efficient? We've never done that because the lawyers like it this way. All right? They like the idea of being able to make one juror the hang-up for the entire jury. Okay? They like the idea of that. They like the idea of keeping these people, isolated from the rest of the world, so they can't formulate their own thoughts or anything like. They like how the shit all breaks down. So nobody has any interest in changing how we select our juries. Okay, a jury of your peers is not good enough. I'm sorry to say. In today's world, you got to be smarter than that, because people today have no critical thinking skills. You could give them all the evidence in the world, okay, to convict somebody, and there's always going to be one dimwit in there that ain't going to be able to connect the dots, and he's going to be the one that causes a fucking hung jury. We can't afford that kind of crap. But you also can't afford to make it easy for people who are being prosecuted to get access to information in order to find some of these jurors. Okay? Again, there's another flaw that needs to be fixed. All right? So there's a lot, about our justice system that has been going on and inherited and gone on again throughout the history of the country, and it's never changed. They've never fucking fixed it, streamlined it, done anything for it as the population grew and the need for, quicker trials evolved. We just don't have it. We don't have the system we need. Okay, it's failed. It's failing us even now. Okay, and so if there's anything we're learning here about Donald Trump and all his crimes, is look at all the mistakes that's being made. This is the reason why we got to redo our entire justice system. This guy is showing us all the cracks in the system as he goes. Okay, that's the only upside to what's going on here, is that we're all seeing just how broken our system is, that we can't even convict a rich man for committing capital crimes in this country that put our nation at risk. We can't even convict this son of a bitch, because he's got allies, he's got influence, he's got too much of whatever, okay, too much of everything to be able to sidestep the bullets coming his way, okay? We can't touch him. That problem's been there for a long time. And, it's really shown its... And if we don't learn anything from these trials at all about going back and changing things, okay, then we just are hopeless. Our country's hopeless. We'll never really be a system of democracy that has a system in place to defend it. We don't. Not anymore, okay? Trump showed us that now. We just don't have that system to defend our democracy the way it should be. We had the justice system there, but it's broken, okay? The Supreme Court is proof of that, okay? Donald Trump's cases are proof of that. We've got cases galore all the way back through time here. All that showed just how our system failed and why. But one thing true about what we learn from history is that we don't learn from history. Okay? We learn from history that we don't learn from history. That's the thing. All right, let's go to...
This is me.
This is me.
This is me!
This is me.
I'm Alex Curtis. I'm a lobsterman in Maine, and this is me.
I'm Ruth McLaughlin, and this is me.
I'm Eric Hopkins. I'm an artist, and this is me.
This is me.
Me.
This is me.
This is me.
This is me.
At the end of the journey, the main thing is you. Original.
A lot of really creepy statements, actions for sure, but statements that he's made in the past that make me very uncomfortable, certainly as a mother, but as a person who breathes air.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
Really creepy statements.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick.
Yeah. It makes me very uncomfortable that he would look at certain other Americans the way he apparently has in the past.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon's?
She's got Marlon's legs.
Creepy.
We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
He's definitely not a typical father.
Creepy.
Oh, girl, but I'm a few person of your love. So I will leave you in your side you have lost. It's been so long time I can still have some more.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it. Write for Pollution Booklet, Box 1771, Radio City Station, New York.
Be a part of the entertainment value of a lifetime.
I loved it. It was the best performance I've seen in a lifetime.
I loved the show. I liked it very much. He's a very entertaining man. It's well worth the money.
Now appearing in Charlottetown, coming to Halifax November 6th to the 18th, and St. John November 20th through the 26th.
Okay, welcome back here, everybody. So another story here. People are giving attention to Melania Trump. People are just kind of curious about her, especially during these times. And there's a lot to be curious about, I suppose. I mean, being the wife of a criminal. First off, let me just point out something here that should be obvious to everybody. When have we ever seen any like videos of good times between Trump and his wife or his kids, his sons? What, you know what I'm saying? You know, we when people run for president, one of the things that we usually get in the commercials is, you know, these family moments. You know, where people are, you know, the kids are around them. You know, like remember the Obamas, for God's sake. I mean, look how good that, you know, I mean, that family there was close and everything. Okay, and they had family moments and stuff like that we got to see. And you know, then there's, you know, we come to Trump. You know, we don't see anything like that, do we? You know, there's no family moments. There's no what can I say? No image of any love being shared in his household. Okay, in Mar-a-Lago. Okay, there's no friggin' image of that. Okay, nobody can really say they've ever seen anything where he's shown love to his wife or love to his sons or anything like that. I mean, it's just always kind of. There's always this separation here of that and the viewer. He doesn't want to portray that vision to us. He doesn't want to show us that, you know, if there is anything there, okay? He doesn't want us to see that. What he wants us to see is this tough, big mouth, okay, that hates blacks, that hates Latinos, that hates people that aren't of his color, orange, okay? He doesn't like these people. And he wants to project the image of a real prick, okay, that commits crimes and gets away with it. Now that's totally opposite of a guy who's got a loving family or anything like that. So I don't think that there is such a thing with Trump as a loving family. We go to this, okay, Melania, and let me read this article here from the Independent, okay. Written by Katie Hawkinson, and it's entitled "Melania Thinks Donald's Hush Money Trial is a Disgrace and Tantamount to Election Tampering." Melania, while noticeably absent from many of her husband's campaign events, has reportedly voiced her opposition to his hush money trial that began Monday. In recent private conversations, Ms. Trump called the trial a disgrace and tantamount to election interference. A source close to the Trumps with direct knowledge of her comments told the New York Times. This report comes on day 2 of Donald Trump's criminal trial in New York City. Ms. Trump has not appeared in court with her husband, saying in private discussions it is, quote, his problem, unquote, alone, the New York Times reported. So far, 7 jurors have been selected. Jury selection will continue Thursday. And it goes into what he's in there for. So she says it's his problem alone. His problem alone. Now, let me ask you something. Would Obama's wife, would she not be at his side if he was, you know, in trial or something like that for this? Of course she would, okay? Even Bush's wife, both Bushes, okay, their wives would be behind their husbands if they were on trial for something. I mean, they would show support. This woman doesn't, which that just reinforces the idea that there is no real bond anymore between her and him. And why should there be? Because the guy cheated on her, and she's pissed off that it got publicized, that it's the whole fucking world knows it, okay? And she's embarrassed. Because now people are looking at her as like, you know, you're an idiot to stick with this guy. You know, Stormy Daniels and all the other girls that he used to dance with, these hookers there, you know, in nightclubs in New York City and hanging around with Jeffrey Epstein. All this shit, that's all negative attention. Okay? And she's right there in the middle of it. After all this time, I think she'd be sick and tired of it. But she stays with him. And we all know why that is, okay? And So the thing is that she does not give people the image of a happy household or a happy family, okay? And I think we all can understand why it isn't that way, all right? Let me ask you this. Does that mean that those are red flags about a man that we should not put in the White House because of the history that he's got that's created this broken family of his? I think it does. I think it says a lot about the man, okay? That what comes first in his life is himself and his fucking money. That's what matters more to him. Not his wife, not his sons or daughters or whatever, okay? I mean, he said some pretty horrendous things about his daughter there in the past that's too sick to even repeat, but the fact is, he's got a filthy mind, and he can't control it, all right? And I'm sure Melania knows all the details about that and then some. But she keeps her mouth shut. Why? Because he's paying her. I'm sure he's given her lots of goodies and everything over the years. And I don't know. I mean, if whenever he runs out of money, that gravy train ends, whether she's going to stay with him or not. I don't think that would happen. I just feel like she wouldn't stay married to him, if there was nothing left in it for her. I mean, that's probably the only thing keeping them together is that. But they're not really seen together that much. And when they're together, it doesn't look like a woman that's happy to be with him. She doesn't project that. What she projects is this woman that's being dragged by a leash, in his hand, that he's pulling her around to show off. But he's not really saying anything to her. And when he says stuff, you could see her in the background kind of rolling her eyes a little bit like, this is fucking stupid. But she stays with him, and she keeps going with him. And so I think that, Melania in this situation is, she just wants to stay the hell out of the light of the paparazzi, the press. She doesn't want to have her picture there or any attention given her while this goes on here with her husband there, dingbat there. So, I mean, I figure that, whatever she's feeling right now, you don't need to have a reporter follow her around and ask her questions or anything like that about that. It should be obvious to anybody who's been paying any attention at all to things that Trump's been doing. Put yourself in her shoes. Okay? What do you think what you'd be feeling about this son of a bitch after this point, okay? And if other people out there can see that, then the press obviously notices it because they wouldn't even do a story about it if they didn't. It's got to be obvious to everybody else, even the maggots, that this guy is a lowlife son of a bitch, okay? And they should be doing some serious soul searching and ask themselves, why do I still like this guy when all these things that he's done wrong keep coming out, keep getting him in trial, keep getting him in trouble? It's more, if you can't use the excuse as a witch hunt anymore, okay? That witch hunt doesn't even fit this. You can't even label this, what's going on, as a witch hunt. This is not a witch hunt anymore, okay? This is a guy who clearly violated many laws, big laws, little laws, every fucking law in the book, and God only knows what else, okay? This isn't like we're seeking out crimes that he's got the crimes. They're all in your face. There was no seeking that needed to be done, okay? This witch hunt requires you got to prove that he's a witch. Well, we already know he's a witch. We're just trying to get out all the crimes that he's done and lay it out in an organized fashion here, so that way he can answer for it. But this hasn't got anything to do with a witch hunt. I mean, that's peanuts. A witch hunt is peanuts compared to what he's into right now. A witch hunt was like trying to get Bill Clinton out of the White House, over a fucking affair he had with an intern. That's a witch hunt, okay? Another witch hunt. Trying to prove Obama wasn't an American. So that way he couldn't be president. Okay, that was Donald Trump doing a witch hunt right there over him. Okay, that's a witch hunt. This is not a witch hunt. These things have been going on for years now, and now it's all coming out into court cases. We got the whole thing all set out. All the charges are laid out. Now he's got to answer for all that shit. So the witch hunt began when he ran for president. Okay, that was the witch hunt then, and we kept finding more things. Here we are, 10 years later here, and now the witch hunt has yielded us so much stuff that a witch hunt is just too small a label to put on all this. It's just too small a label. Okay, he's into big time crap here. I mean, what can you say when you keep finding all this? You know, you keep expecting to find more, because one thing leads to another and another and another. Okay, and even here now, while he's in court, he's being arrogant, he's being stupid, he's showing off. The cameras are around. He loves that. Okay, he loves the cameras being around on him all the time. He feels like he needs to say something, and he doesn't have anything to say, but he feels he needs to stand up in front of the cameras and put on a show. Okay, and say anything, which is what it always comes off as when he's talking. It's like he's just saying whatever enters his head and spits it out. Okay, there's no organization there to his speech. He needs to be in front of the camera. All right, and that's why gag order is not going to stop him. Okay, and I don't give a shit if the order came from on high, from God himself. He's still going to do it, because he knows that they won't do anything to him. Okay, they know that he's not going to. People are shaking in their boots over this guy. Okay, and I don't think that it's needed. I don't think people need to be that afraid of him. Okay, he's not the one you should be afraid of. Okay, he really isn't. The fear is what's keeping you from doing your damn fucking job. What is it? There's no reason to fear except, fear itself. Stop making yourself afraid of this turkey. Okay. He's nothing. He's just an old fart with old money, okay, who's got caught with his pants down on more than one occasion, okay, and he doesn't know anything to fight himself out of this except to hire lawyers to do their best to protect him, okay. He's put it all on them to do these things, to save his ugly ass, okay. So I don't, I don't know what to say, but for people to in power, like justices and judges and politicians, to bow and kiss his ring and everything whenever they're around him, for what? Okay, you guys think that he's the greatest thing out there, that he's got all the power. He's nobody. Okay, he's just a poor businessman, and I don't mean poor by money, but I mean poor like he doesn't know how to do a fucking job. As a businessman, because he's failed at every business he ever had. And he ain't a very good politician either, okay? The minute he set foot in the White House, there was already a mountain of dirt that he did that could have got him impeached out of there. But they wouldn't do it, because, we're too afraid of Mr. Trump. That excuse is not flying with me. I don't believe any of that shit about being afraid of this man. I think there's something else going on behind this, and I don't think it has a fucking thing to do about the MAGA cult, okay? The MAGA cult is just a bunch of hotheads who've got nothing better to do but stir up shit, and they use him as the reason and the excuse to go out and do these things, okay? But Trump has no more love for them than they do for him, okay? This is just all bullshit that was brewing since the Tea Party movement, and now it's come to a head. But the thing of it is that Trump is not someone to be feared unless you're in the business world, okay? And you're dumb enough to buy his stock, okay? Then you got a reason to be afraid. You don't do any business with this guy. What the fuck is he to you? Nobody. Okay? So, like I said, Melania, the smart thing for her is not just to keep herself out of the spotlight, but to just file papers on this fucking guy and get the hell out of Dodge. Okay? Go back to where you're from and stay the hell away from him, because he's going to drag you right down with him if he hasn't done enough damage to you already to do that. Get away from him. Jesus. Even rats know when to leave a sinking ship, okay? Jesus. All right, anyway, that's it for today. Hope everybody has a great rest of the week coming up on the weekend here. So subscribe, comment, and please treat each other nice out there, okay? That's enough violence for today or for whenever, just stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. All right. And I'll talk to you guys at another time, so take care.